Hello, this is Ronald Allen, managing change through effective communications. And our discussion today, can we have a conversation, is really about the vulnerability, the incentive of why someone would want to be coached or mentored. And instead of selling you, giving you reasons why you should, I'd like to tell you a little journey, my short journey that I've had so far, that will give you some reason why I've given myself a rather rapid and aggressive daily chat. Not any particular time frame, because as social media allows us to connect with people at different times, and also because of my own personal schedule, it's a way of just reaching out and talking about issues around life's changes, and most importantly, the fundamental medium, communications, interpersonal communications, both the spoken and unspoken words, expressions, the positioning of your body. All of these things come about because of our exposure, our parenting direction, certainly our theology, our education, formal, informal, and then of course life itself. So I'm going to share with you some perspectives which I've kind of put together through some of the work that I've done, and see how you can reflect on your own life, your own journey. And then let's see how some of the methods, processes, the academics that we've acquired along the way, and I think we should include our interests. Some people call them hobbies, others call them passion, others call a legacy or life quest. This is really what we as humans are all about, aren't we, in reality? The interesting thing is, for some reason, we're still being told and programmed in some ways. Hey, Angela, thank you very much for checking in. Some of us are still being programmed, being instructed that we should have one finite interest, one finite, shall I say, tip of the spear that we go forth in life. I don't think that's the most optimum way. Yes, we certainly should have a career. Yes, we should have an interest. Those careers and interests, though, are supported by everything else that is part of our being, our personality. So it becomes a little bit more dynamic. I think we become a little bit more comprehensive in who we are, what we are. That, to me, allows us to address all the different issues that we are faced with. After all, if we're managing life's changes through effective communications, how many mediums are there that we can use? What can we learn that we're not familiar with? And what can we subscribe to that gives us the best or optimum outcomes? So today's discussion, as we continue to build this library of perspectives, if you will, is all about, can we have a conversation? So the other day I did one called, Can You Trust Yourself? And I guess in some respects this could be like a second part to that. Because the conversation you have with yourself, and again, I'm always looking for that litmus test, that you need to look at your own experience, your own life, your relationships, and say to yourself, is this really me? Is this really what I'm about? Is this the me that I want to keep? And I'll start off with a little story. Met a gentleman the other night, a little older than myself, and we were having a discussion, and his phone rang. We're just talking about how we got to this position, how life has played out, things that we would still like to do, things that we are doing. His phone rang, And I could definitely understand from the voice and the concern and the type of questions the person on the other end was asking. It was his wife. Unfortunate, and I say that on purpose, I punctuate that with that pause. His response was very guarded. His response was also, without saying a word to me, almost as if he was impatient and felt he was interrupted by someone who obviously was concerned for his well-being, and the fact that our project was working late, was concerned for him getting home. He was short, he was curt. Perhaps he was guarded. Maybe he felt, I don't know, this gentleman and this wife is interrupting our work. And I found that unsettling. Again, my relationship with Miriam, my wife, is private. She doesn't come on any of my social media. She doesn't want to. She is an individual. She was before I met her. She remains, and she always will be, whoever checks out first. So coming from that perspective and listening to this individual in his short, again, I would say even rude manner, and certainly this is over years of a relationship that has been cultivated in this manner, I was upset. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't think that was my place or position to express, why don't you enjoy your woman, etc., etc. And so in doing the live chat the other day about can we trust ourselves, and this one, can we have a conversation, I think we have to look at our experiences in life. I think we have to look at our personalities, both current, latent personalities, right? We have multiple personalities. Given a particular situation, we will act in certain ways. And as you know, for those who are making a life with someone else, and for those who are reflective on your own life experiences, if you're not living with someone else, because you have many other elements that you engage in on a daily basis, what you do, what you say, how you behave is you. This concept of, oh, that's not me, is an excuse. It's a byproduct of some element of us saying, well, that's an outside force that I have no control over. And only in this one particular situation or incident of happenstance, this behavior, this devil, this personality came out. I say embrace it. I say understand it. So I'm going to share with you some of my own little history here, and I've got my laptop, trusty laptop set up here. One of the things I'd like to share with you, courtesy of GPS technology, and I love to still be fascinated by the fact I can